Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to see a new pattern problem. Now let's analyze this pattern problem and let's find out the relation between this number of stars and the spaces. So now carefully look this pattern. Here we have stars along with the spaces and divide them into number of rows and columns. After I is equals to 1, first row, second row, third row, fourth row. Where in first row you have 1 star, in second row 3 stars, in third row 5 stars, and in fourth row you have 7 stars. Now in first row you have 3 spaces, in second row 2 spaces, in third row 1 space, and fourth row you have no spaces. Now here we are going to find out the relation between this number of stars and the relation between this number of spaces with row number. Okay, now the number of stars are depend upon this row number by using this formula 2 times of I minus 1. It means that consider suppose I is equals to 1, then 2 minus 1 is 1 star, then substitute I is equals to 2. From here you get 4 minus 1 as 3 and 6 minus 1 as 5 and 8 minus 1 as 7. So the stars are depends upon this 2 times of I minus 1. This is the relation between the stars and the row number. Now here we are going to find out the relation between the spaces along with the row number. Okay, where the spaces are linked with this row number by using then n minus I. It means that suppose considered n as where number of rows as 4. Okay, 4 minus 1 is 3, 4 minus 2 is 2, 4 minus 3 is 1, 4 minus 4 is 0, where the number of spaces are depend upon this row number in this format. J is less than n minus I. So now let us consider these loops and let's see how does it works. As usual, this is the outer loop where used to run total number of iterations. If n is equals to 4, then it runs 4 times. Okay, now here this is used to print the stars where j is equals to 0. From this relation we can say that the number of spaces starting from 0, so initial value of spaces is nothing but 0, and here j is less than end value is n minus I and j plus plus increment and print star. As usual way we have another loop to print the total number of stars. For that k is starting from 1 value and k is less than or equals to 2 times of I minus 1, then increment the k value and print the star. This is used to get the new line, to print the stars in a new line. Okay, now let's see with the test case how does it actually works. We consider that this is the test case where if user enter number of rows as 4, where I is equals to I is starting from 1, where I less than n, this is the condition, right, where 1 less than or equals to 4, the condition is true, then it enters into this second loop, and from here you get as j is equals to 0, j less than n minus I, j less than n minus I. It means that n is 4, 4 minus I is 1, where 3, j less than 3, where 0 less than 3, condition is true, then increment j value. 1 less than 3, condition is true, 2 less than 3, condition is true, where 3 less than 3, condition is false and j is not incremented, and the loop terminates here, where finally you get 3 spaces because 3 conditions are true, right? Then it runs the 3 times where it gives 3 spaces. As usual way, now let's come to the stars where k is equals to 1 and k less than or equals to 2 times of I minus 1, where I value is nothing but 1, 2 minus 1 is 1, where 1 less than or equals to 1, condition is true, and then increment this k value, where 2 less than or equals to 1, condition is false, right? So from here you get only 1 star because the loop runs only 1 iteration. For that you get only 1 star. The n value is updated where I is equals to 2. As usual way, it verifies this condition and it gives the total number of stars and the total number of space. Similarly, here we are going to explore a different pattern which is sequential to that but in a reversed way, reversed diamond pattern. First of all, name them as I is equals to number of rows and columns, where here I have named that the rows starting from 3 to 1 in a reversed pattern. Okay, the number of stars. So in first row it means that here we have named the label. In a third row you have 5 stars, in second row 2 star, in first row you having 1 star, and as usual way the spaces, in third row you have 0 spaces, in second row you have 1 space, and in first row you have 2 spaces. Now here we are going to find out the relation between the stars with a row number. Okay, The stars are entirely depends upon 2 times of I minus 1. Suppose substitute I value where 3, where 6 minus 1 is 5, and 2, 4 minus 1 is 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1. This is the relation between the stars and then with a row number. Now, the relation between the spaces with row number is where spaces are less than or equals to n minus I. Suppose if user entered n as 3, then 3 minus 3 is 0, 3 minus 2 is 1, 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, this is the relation between the spaces and then stars. So here we are going to check out this loop condition. Here do you see that this is the decrement of the loop, because here I have named the loop the row starting from 3 to 1. It means that the row label is always decreasing its value by 1. So that here I have started from I is equals to n. It means that number of rows I greater than or equals to 1, I minus minus. It means that decrement the I value. For suppose if n is equals to 3, then I decrement 3 to 1. In this way we are going to run these iterations. Okay, now here we are going to print the spaces. Further, the relation between the spaces and the row number is n minus I. Then if this condition is true, then print space. As usual, the relation between the stars and row number is 2 times of I minus 1. Then print star. Now let's see how does it works with a test case. For suppose if number of rows as 3, user entered n value as 3. Now here I is equals to 3, I greater than or equals to 1. It means that 3 is greater than or equals to 1. The condition true, right? Where 3 is greater than or equals to 1. Condition is true. Now it enters into this second loop where j is equals to 0, j less than n minus I. It means that n minus I, n is 3 and I is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Where 0 less than 0, is this condition true? False, right? So from here you get no space. That is the reason why in third row, the third labeled row, you have 0 spaces. Okay, now where k is equals to 1, k less than or equals to 2 times of I minus 1, where considered I as 3, 6 minus 1 is 5, k less than or equals to 5, 1 less than or equals to 5. Condition is true. 2 less than 5, 3 less than 5, 4 less than 5, and 5 less than or equals to 5. The condition is true. Here totally the loop run 5 times, so it totally prints 5 stars. Okay, this is how the test cases works. Now consider where I is equals to 2. This entire one iteration is completed. So from here you get new line, and where I is updated as 2, where 2 greater than or equals to 1. Condition is true. It enters into the second loop where j is equals to 0, j less than n minus I, right? Where n is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1, 0 less than 1. Condition is true. 1 less than 1. Condition is false. So in the loop which printed spaces, it runs only one time, so you get one space. Okay, now k is equals to 1, k less than or equals to 2 times of I minus 1. I is 2, 4 minus 1 is 3, 1 less than 3, 2 less than 3, 3 less than or equals to 3. From here the loop which print the stars runs 3 times, so from here you get 3. Try with different test cases changing this n value and I value. It works. Okay, in a simple way, just to find out the relation between the stars with a row number and to find out the relation between the spaces with a row number. This is the basic syntax in C program, where here we have taken input from this user asking number of rows. Now here we are going to print the star pattern, the diamond pattern with the spaces and the stars. For that we need a loop conditions. Now let's run this program and let's see what does we get as a out. Task that enter number of rows. Let me enter number of rows as 5. So this is the pattern which we have solved before this. Okay, as usual way, now here we are going to modify this code a little bit to print this another reversed diamond pattern. For this, just modify the code a little bit, that change this loop conditions where I is equals to n, I is greater than or equals to 1, and I minus minus. Decrement this I value where j is starting from 0, j less than n minus I, j plus plus, and rest of the everything is same. Just we are going to modify this, and now let's run this program and let's see what does we get as a output. Okay, task that enter number of rows. Let me enter number of rows as 5. So this is the pattern. We have changed nothing, just we have reversed the loop condition. That's it. So if you have any doubts, please go through the comment section, but please follow the basic steps to solve these pattern problems. Identify the relation between this row number with the spaces and the row number with the number of stars. That's it, the problem is completed. Thank you.